Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, in the past or future, wherever and whenever you are. Welcome to the Living World of Darkness Changeling 20th edition venue. Our scene begins near the southern end of Manhattan, not too far away from where the Luke's Lobster is, down in the southern end of Manhattan. We see Charles, or Cararis, getting out of a taxi again near the same area, but not going to Luke's Lobster. No, he's already been there once. Doesn't need to go again. Although there's another Luke's Lobster further into town. He might go to that one, but he's already been to this particular one. No need. However, there was a Chinese restaurant called Number One that he caught his eye a few days ago. So he decided, you know what? Today I'm going to go and eat out. Maybe muddle through some things after last night's event with the pizza party. So he walks up in to the restaurant and stands. There's actually a decent line before the waitress would come to seat people. So Charles just waits.
While you're waiting,
Mhm.
the William arrives, and you feel a strong, I'm not going to say strong, but big presence behind
Mhm.
you. His Famine looks like the Arashok from Dragon Age because I reckon so. He is just like a normal troll size.
Mhm.
His other worldly look, the gray worldly look, is Um, leather jacket. No, actually, there's no leather jacket because there's summer.
Mhm.
He's wearing a shirt and a jean.
Mhm.
His If Cararis is a person who is interested in how good they look pretty nice and
Mhm.
expensive. Um, the If he looks back, he will see the troll is basically looking at him with a
Okay.
smile.
And to give the description of Kararis is turning around from the back, from you walking into the back, you see that Kararis's Fey mane is his hair is actually not even hair; it's like ivy coming out of his head, stylized in like long flowing hair, as it were. His skin pretty much like all like almost looks like it has the consistency of like marble, like he's a literally carved statue in the shape of a sheet. So when he turns around, and at first he's like, he kind of almost has this expectation to look up, but obviously he needs to look even more up to the Fey main. But you see the stained glass eyes that are in it, that are peeping out of his sockets, and he looks up and he sees your smile, and he smiles back, and the bright pure diamond teeth sharpened to razor edges stare back up to you. Oh, hello, friend.
You know when you see something like weird, your breath just like comes out with a little bit smile.
Mm-hmm.
You see that, along with you see his sea colored eyes,
Mm-hmm.
sea blue, just like in the photo there. I wanted to share this.
Gotcha.
Um, the Behind him there is a big wolf. Um, it is invisible in the gray world. It's a chimera,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the wolf.
Okay.
It is scary a little bit, but the when you see he just smiles, and I have the flaw.
Mm-hmm.
The Let me read it because I keep forget this flaw's name.
Gotcha.
This is like something visible. That's why I have to share every time. I apologize for not reading it.
What? I'm sorry. What's the flaw again?
I'm just trying to read it. Distinguish characteristics. My character has whip scar. I'm not gonna say whip scar, but I'm gonna say in his lower neck there's a scar.
Oh, okay. A distinguished characteristic. Okay, but there's a scar there. It's not something you don't notice. It's there,
Yeah.
and it's
Um,
pretty memorable.
the Another thing is like if your character, as I have been told by RSDs,
Mm-hmm.
if your character has like medicine score,
Mm-hmm.
that is probably like a knife. Like your first guess would be a knife or sword wound, but
Mm,
um the scar is curved.
mm,
It is not knife or sword.
mm.
Um, when you give him your smile with your teeth, and he just like his breath goes out, and he smiles more widely, and he says hello.
Uh, as they're giving in line and stuff, Charles is thinking quickly before, because he kind of actually wants to talk with this individual, but he obviously needs to at least keep up a facade until they at least get to the table. And he goes, "I'm so glad you got my invitation, and or at least you're able to make it. Work, work let you out early."
That's what I heard, and you see like his voice when he tries this is really. People would not believe if it wasn't you because you're a she and
Mm,
majestic and like even if it affects your um, real world and like he is like a troll. He is not really social, at least he looks. Um, he doesn't say a lot.
mm,
Um, it seems this man is sometimes man of few words.
mm. Well, I think our time. Well, I think our table is. We should be able to get seated pretty soon. Have you heard of this place? And by that point, the waitress comes up and table for two, and leads them over, and they sit down, ask what they want, and Nars goes, "Just water, thank you. I'm afraid I'm on duty."
The William looks and he says, "I will take water as well." And he looks at the man and he said, when the waitress leaves, he
Hmm.
says, "William Black of Ranger."
Hmm. Pleasure to meet you, William. You can call me Charles. I like Charles. Although if you're wanting titles, I am Cararis, keeper of the Diamond Word, Squire. I'm of House Duran. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Pleasure's all mine.
Hmm? What brings you to this place? You don't seem like the one who would go for Chinese.
You are certainly right. I'm actually looking around in Manhattan,
Hmm. What for?
meeting with new individuals.
Hmm. Well, I would say that you found at least a new individual. You're new to me, at the very least.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
But I actually heard about this.
Oh, have you now?
Yeah,
What? He sort of
he tells,
smiles.
he says, "I saw your invitations."
Ah. So you got the invitations. Well, I will say then your presence was missed then last night, though it was a good crowd to say the least. Everyone seemed to enjoy themselves.
That's quite good,
Mm-hmm.
surprisingly. It is a rare
Yes.
thing for one like us to go a place and then come back. It is surprising.
There's a little bit of like there's a sort of like his eyes sort of narrow a moment, as though trying to consider something. If you want to give like a percept emp on that, if you want to try and figure out like what he's like trying to consider, that's fine. If not, don't worry about it. But
I will open in the changing dice roller then. Oh, you already opened?
yep, it's already open. You scenes it's under the game begins. So go ahead and do your dice roll.
Perception entity is not my best
Hmm,
roll, but I will roll them again. I have two successes.
okay, he seems a little confused by that statement.
And he says, You're confused?
Hmm. Yes, I'm a little confused. Why you think no one would actually come out of that party? Only if they well, there are certain oaths to upkeep, but everyone there was my guest. No one would be harmed unless they broke the rules. None of them did. One came close, but none of them did. And so, of course, they got out safe.
He nods, but like um, that nod is going to continue with words, and he continues. Well, it's the first time I hear a she. He doesn't say, he whispers a she,
Mm.
saying or surprising when a guy like me says everyone else got out safe.
Uh, I'm sorry. Have you have you been affected negatively at some point? Has someone done something egregious in the name of hospitality?
Not to me, to my grandfather.
Oh.
Haven't you heard?
I don't think I know your grandfather. No, or what
I
happened
see.
to him.
Well, the let me remind you what happens. Not a lot of people knows about this, and he's being sarcastic.
Hmm.
Not a lot of people knows about this story,
He probably picks
but
up the sarcasm, but that's another story.
and he says, "My grandfather was someone who considered as a leader, and he went to peace meetings. I don't know what happened to my grandfather. He's missing for 60 years now. Ah, yes, Beltane Massacre.
Sorry, what was the last bit?
Oh, yes, Beltane Massacre happened.
The what massacre?
Beltane Massacre. Night
No,
of
he's
Iron.
actually in character. Yeah, no. In character, he goes, "The what massacre?"
Oh, you don't know?
No, what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've only been here for maybe a week. What? What is your? What is the Beltane massacre? You're going to have to enlighten me.
You see, there's a bitterness in William, and he says, he whispers, when your when the she returned, they invited the leaders of commoners. And the commoners is also whisper
Hmm.
to a peace party. And when the leaders arrived, they couldn't find anybody in the meeting to have a peace committee. The houses that arrived pulled knives with iron and killed those who entered inside. I would like to say, if you don't know about this, that is something everybody remembers.
And that's actually, as you're describing this, you're actually seeing like there's a like shoulders are raising. He's like getting like extremely straight. Like I mean he was sitting up with a good posture, but like he's almost like freaking rigid right now. And he's smiling, and there's a ooh. So let me get this straight. You're saying that a banner of peace was sprouted up for talks of debate on whose leadership should stand. And what happened instead was their dreams were snuffed out.
You know.
And I mean, there's actually like it's like it's very visibly like, despite the fact he's like smiling, he's like visibly like shaking, like he's trying to contain himself. I'm actually going to roll willpower actually, just to see how much he can maintain his composure here, because this is successes, I think. So he manages to brings himself back together. There's almost a moment where it almost seems like he's about to say something, but he closes his eyes. And this happened how long ago?
He thinks and it says 1968.
1968. Not that long at all, or an eternity, depending on one's view, but
so
I can't bring your grandfather back, and I know no apologies are going to suffice for that atrocity that was done. But you have my deepest sympathies, because it goes against everything I believe in and stand for. This is the problem with my fellows. This is the problem. They don't understand. They go for the most basest direct route, and often lead to the most atrocious.
One day, among my goals, I would like to go to the Parliament and demand public apology. And I wait for your support that day. He kind of like nods and smiles with like, really, like, you know, he is like, you or she is a troll. And you understand it, like he is basically saying, if it's really hurting you, you will support me that day and I will do this.
Oh yes. Yes, I will have to look into these matters myself, but on that day you will have my support. I will do all my utmost to make sure that your words are heard. That's the problem. They usually try to drown them out, but they don't because they're afraid of the power that words have. And they have every right to be, because words are the most powerful weapons we have.
Most people things about the trolls, and he whispers the trolls as well, because like we're in a public place. But I'm sure like this is a lunch and everybody is like talking. He whispers the trolls like in a way that he can understand and not the others.
Yeah.
They think it's not about honor, but it is actually about saying something and keeping that word. And when you invite someone to a place, you will have to keep that word. That if you promise the safety, you will give the safety. That's what I expect.
There are rules to House Daran, but anyone who asks for hospitality will be granted it. As long as they follow the 3 rules of House Daran, and maybe 1 or 2 rules of the host, then yes, safety is assured.
Rules of the host.
There are 3 main rules that have to be followed in House Duran. Let me see if I can quote them. Sorry, I need to look them up just so I have them correct, so I'm not misleading you.
No problem.
Hold on. House Duran. You think it'd be easy just go to the houses, Michael? It should be simple. No, apparently not. Noble houses. Duran. Let's see. The rules are very simple for those who seek hospitality and are given it. Never ask for more than's offered. Bring no harm to your hosts or anyone else under the host's roof. And always make a fair offer of reciprocity. Now, to explain, the fair offer of reciprocity, I don't expect anything from anyone during their stay. They can stay as long as they want, as long as they obey the rules. That's all well and good. I do have one slight caveat to the last rule. Depending on the length of your stay, a month and a day after you're done staying, after your stay is done, you will present with me a gift of the value you feel, a gift of the value of what you feel is appropriate for your stay and the hospitality given to you. If that makes sense.
It does.
Are you seeking hospitality, or are you asking on behalf of someone else?
I am not asking any hospitality.
Well, as it is my word that if you ever did, then it would be granted.
Be nice. Can you roll me perception ability?
Sure. I will do so. Let's see. Still getting used to this dice roller. One success.
Isn't it
2 successes. Sorry, I forget it's difficulty 6.
You get the feeling that he is like listening and creating a opinion. Like that might be the reason why he's here.
Yeah. I'm curious. When you said you were looking to meet new people, were you seeking me out specifically?
You see the wolf's head goes to William's lap, and he is like starts to play with the wolf's head, and you know, I'm not a liar.
I appreciate honesty. I do. So why, specifically? What's going on in your head?
I can say what I heard, but I don't think you like it.
I'd much rather you say it. Words can be hurtful. Words can be empowering. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words bite ever so deeply.
I heard
Speak them freely.
I heard a she who wants to be a red cap wannabe. And I wanted to see with my own eyes.
A red cap wannabe. I'm assuming you mean the teeth.
I can't talk for myself, but I don't know what they meant.
Well, I will say that I have no interest in being a red cap. Their dreams are theirs, mine are my own. Although, it's quite an interesting comparison. A red cap wannabe, and he sort of licks his teeth, and his tongue is like bright crimson, like freshly spilt blood as he licks across his teeth. So is that the only reason, or there's got to be others?
I don't like sea, and I like to judge them all by myself
Hmm.
in the things that I see from them.
What's your judgment so far? If we're going to be direct and honest.
You look weird, you act weird, but the it is the first time I hear someone talking about the house in Darien. And he shrugs. The house of hospitality seems weird for a she.
Honestly, it was a good fit coming here. See, William, where in dreaming where I came from, I ruled over a kingdom, and at least once a year I would always have the Sheed and the commoners would all come for one night as equals. All equals. All, no blades were allowed, no weapons whatsoever. The only weapons people had were words. Everyone had the right to say anything they wanted for that night. Their opinions, their grievances, their hopes and dreams. It gave
He
me a good
doesn't.
idea of what was going on in my lands and what was needed.
He doesn't look impressed. Like bluntly, he doesn't look impressed.
Yep. Oh no, he's fine. It doesn't matter. He's off on his own tangent
Okay.
here anyway. But it's like it's one of those ones where he's like, even if you're not impressed, he doesn't give a shit. He's on his own thing. So, but it was hosting those events, those nights, and watching the play of dialogue between everyone, seeing everyone trying to convince the other of their own opinions of right and their own righteousness. I missed that desperately. I missed being able to host events and give them the protection they needed. So when I came here, House Duran was the right one.
Did your subjects like the freedom that you gave them?
It was for a reason why I was given me. There was the reason why I had to eventually make the choice of whether I was going to die or if I was going to come here.
No, you misunderstand me, Charles.
Mm.
Did your subjects that you gave freedom of speaking truly for one day, like the freedom that you gave them?
The ones who were the best speakers did.
Ishu and Puka.
You'd actually be surprised. There were actually quite a few trolls who were very well spoken, quite like yourself, I have to say. And I remember one red cap whose words were just as sharp as his teeth. You'd be surprised just what hidden talent is there. You see, William, that's the thing that I believe the she rule be by the dint of the dreaming thing in that place. That is the law that was created. The dreaming enforces it, all well and be. But I always found it very a waste that the opinions of those that the gift of language and words were given to the commoners, and they would have they had no way to really express it or use it. A gift, a talent that was completely wasted and untapped. Those nights gave them the opportunity to see what change could come about, how they could raise themselves above from what they were, and see where the true power really lied.
You should have asked for more days, like every day.
Well, I believe, as I was explaining to one of my guests last night, the times are changing.
Change is good.
I agree. Change is good. We live in a new world, a gray one, a painful one. There's no neat there's no tidy ends. And I'm sure you know very well, especially with that event you've been describing to me, that there are those that would believe that they should still rightfully rule.
There is no
But we're
right.
not. But we're not in the dreaming anymore. Not completely anymore. We are in a world where perhaps we should be looking to those who are more native here.
You like
Those who are
hearing your
more-
own voice?
Hmm?
You like hearing your own voice? He kind of smiles.
Well, I do tend to trail off on my thoughts.
I see.
But to try and make my point concise, if that's what you wish. I believe whoever should be ruling here should be the right people for the job. And they should understand exactly what that entails. And it doesn't matter if it's Sheed or Troll or even a Redcap for that matter. What matters is they know how to lead and they know the responsibility that comes with it.
I'm surprised that Arcadian she says this.
The times are a-changin', and we're not in Arcadia anymore.
No. If I ever enter the Parliament, you will have a lot of same opinions then.
I don't know about that. I'm sure there's quite a few that agree with me, and a number that would take violent offense to it. But I am the keeper of the diamond word. And all that entails, my words will be heard and seen with the beauty and sharpness that it is. By this point, probably the waitress has come over for orders. Ah, yes. Sorry. We have obviously she's been staying away probably because it's been a very intense conversation, but she's finally come over in a quiet moment. Ah, yes. Could I get an order of the let's go with the Szechuan broiled fish. An order of the 5 spices chicken. Let's see, the pork fried rice. A 3 orders of egg rolls, and let's go with the beef with broccoli. Would you like anything?
I got a call from the work. William says, I gotta go.
Ah, well, that is a shame. William, and he actually stands up to reach out and shake your hand.
He shakes the hand.
Yep. It was a pleasure meeting with you. I hope we'll have more conversations soon.
I hope so as well. And after that, he will pay for the water.
Mm-hmm. Oh, water's free. Water doesn't. You don't have to pay for water.
And then he will leave.
Mm-hmm. That Charles sits back down and waits for his order, but there's things going through his head. Beltane Massacre. Beltane Massacre. This is something I'm going to have to look into. I know my kind are ruthless. I'm one of them. I'm ruthless too. But this goes against everything that I am. And with that, we end this scene. Thank you all very much for watching. This has been another edition for the Living World of Darkness, Changeling the Dreaming 20th Anniversary Edition. Good night, good morning, good evening, in the past or future, wherever and whenever you are.